Hi, this is my expressive language therapy project lesson. You could call this category challenge if you wanted to give it a title. It involves children, or a group of children, taking turns, categorizing and describing items within categories. It would be appropriate for children approximately 7 to 9 years old, and the goals that we would be addressing would be word finding, increasing vocabulary and the use of vocabulary, and increasing MLU. We would start by reviewing the skills or teaching the skills, and we might start with categories. What are categories? Categories are groups that we place certain items in based on their similarities or what they have in common, how they're alike. An example of a category would be things you read. What could we put in that category? We could put books, magazines, newspapers. Another example would be vegetables. What could we put in a vegetable category? Carrots, broccoli, green beans. We could also talk about what is same. What does it mean if something is the same? It means they're alike. They have something in common. And what does it mean if something is different? It means they're not the same. They're not the same in some way, one or more ways. We could also cover descriptions. What's a description? What do you do when you describe something to somebody? You tell somebody something about things. After we've reviewed the skills, then we could move on to the activity or the game portion of the lesson, and we could introduce that by saying, we just learned about categories and descriptions. Now we're going to put that to use in a game. You're going to want to look closely at different items that I show you, and then you're going to tell me about them. And I would go to the first child in the group, and I would show a group of items like this, maybe 3 items, and I would show them that, and I would ask them, what category would these fit in? Hopefully the child would recognize that they're all animals and that they would fit in an animal category. And if they did, they would be rewarded with a good job and a token. I'm just using dominoes because I don't have tokens. And then I might continue and ask them, how are all these things the same? Can you tell me how they're the same? And again, if they're able to answer that, maybe they would get another token. And then we continue. How are these different? Tell me how these are different from one another. And if they're able to do that, maybe they would get another token. We could continue this even further and say, can you tell me something else that would fit in this category? What would fit in there? A bird, maybe? Oh, good. And then they would get another token. And then we'd go around the room, around the group, and everyone would have a chance. And we would finish when time was up for that lesson. And we would reward the winner as the one with the most tokens or pieces. If I had a child that was really struggling with this and needed more help, I would provide them more clues, urge them on to reach that appropriate response. If I had a child that was excelling and this was too easy for her, I might work on more difficult categories, maybe things that are more obscure, things that they're not familiar with. And that's all I have. Thanks.